11/11/24, Marnie's recovery. It has been 2 months since Marnie agreed to go to rehab. Rebecca and Dawn both agreed to send Marnie to a place called River Glen Health Center in Southbury, Connecticut. They wanted somewhere a little far from home so Marnie feels safe in a new environment, but close enough for them to visit regularly. Rebecca is very proud of her and has been visiting her pretty frequently, catching her up on everything going on in her life. She hasn't visited in 3 weeks, and she decided to ask her new friends, Michelle, Liz, Cara, and Don Cesar, to go with her this time. Cara and Michelle decide to make a little care package for Marnie, while Don Cesar and Liz work on finding a card. Rebecca is bringing a few coloring books, puzzles, and a paint-by-number canvas to keep her busy. While there, they reflect on Marnie's journey towards recovery and support each other as the group grapples with their own emotions and experiences related to Marnie's struggles. Michelle, Liz, Rebecca, and Dawn are all at Cara's house preparing to go. Cara and Michelle are in the kitchen wrapping up the care package and packing a little baggie of chocolates and chocolate-covered espresso beans. In the living area, Dawn, Rebecca, and Liz are huddled over a card, brainstorming what to write. Liz suggests something simple but heartfelt. I was thinking of something like, "We're thinking of you and can't wait to see you soon." Dawn nods in agreement. Yeah, I agree. Simple is better, but maybe add a little bit about being proud and wishing her well with her recovery process. Okay, maybe we can write, Marnie, we want to thank you for taking the big step and going to rehab. You've had your struggles and have worked through a lot to get to this point. Those struggles and how you fought through them are a part of your story and who you are today. In the end, with support, you put your words and willingness into action and have made tremendous progress. We are so proud of you. We are proud of you and hope you are doing what it takes to get better. We are wishing you well, constantly thinking of you, and can't wait to see you soon. Love, your friends at South Street and your sister Rebecca, Rebecca suggests. Michelle and Cara return from the kitchen carrying the wrapped gifts. They glance at the card and offer their approval. It's perfect, Michelle adds. Straight from the heart, it's just what Marnie needs to feel supported. With the card finished and all the gifts packaged neatly, Dawn and Liz put everything into a bag, careful not to crush anything. Is there anything else we should bring, like some extra clothes? Liz asks, concerned. Rebecca shakes her head. No, I think we've got everything. Marnie doesn't really need much else right now. They provide her with the essentials in rehab, and she's been sending regular updates on how she's doing. As they get ready to depart, Rebecca feels a mix of nerves and excitement. She takes a deep breath, preparing herself for whatever awaits them at the rehab center. The others look to her for guidance. Is everyone ready? She asks, her hand on her car keys. Ready as we'll ever be, Liz says, taking a deep breath herself. Dawn, Michelle, and Cara nod in agreement, looking slightly uneasy but resolute. Rebecca gives them a determined nod, a small smile playing on her lips. Good, she says. Let's head out then, shall we? As they climb into the car, there is a moment of silence filled with anticipation. Rebecca starts the engine and pulls out of the driveway, her grip on the steering wheel tight with nerves. They're nearing the place where Marnie has been battling her demons for 2 months now. They drive down the highway, the scenery passes in a blur as Rebecca drives on, focused on the road ahead. As she approaches the city of Southbury, the sign reading River Glen Health Center becomes visible and grows closer. As they approach the facility, the car grows silent. Rebecca turns into the large parking lot and slows down. As they approach the entrance, the reality of Marnie's situation sets in. The building looms ahead, a mix of emotions bubbles up within each of the group members. As Rebecca parks the car, she exhales slowly, breaking the silence. This is it, she whispers, her voice filled with a mix of anxiety and anticipation. Before we all go in at once, I want to go in first and check in. Let Marnie know you guys are coming in. I just don't want her to get anxious or react badly when she sees too many people at once. It'll be a little hard for her to get used to her friends being around again. Michelle nods in agreement. I think that's a good idea. It would probably be overwhelming if we all went in at the same time. Rebecca pulls her car keys out of the ignition. Glad we're on the same page. All right, I'm going to go and check in with the front desk. I'll shoot you a text when it's okay to come in. Just let the front desk know you're seeing Marnie and you're friends with her. Rebecca nods, opening the driver's door. Okay, we'll be waiting, Don responds to Rebecca, his voice tinged with empathy for Marnie. Rebecca crosses the parking lot and approaches the entrance of the River Glen Health Center. As she walks in, the familiar clinical aromas of disinfectant and medicine fill her nostrils. She walks to the front desk, taking a deep breath. Rebecca approaches the receptionist at the front desk, her nerves almost getting the best of her. Hi, I'm here to see Marnie Shork, she murmurs, her fingers fidgeting nervously. The receptionist nods and types Marnie's name into the computer. After a moment, she looks up and smiles at Rebecca. Ah, yes. Miss Shork is expecting you. She hands Rebecca a visitor's badge. She's in her room 304. Thank you. I am her sister and have some friends with me in my car. Is it all right if they come in just a few minutes? I'd like to see my sister privately first, Rebecca asked. The receptionist nods understandingly. Sure, no problem. You can go in and have your visit, and when you're ready, just let us know and we'll allow your friends to come in. Rebecca nods her head and thanks and walks towards the hallway on the right, following the signs to Marnie's room. She walks down the hallway, her footsteps echoing against the floors. She stops in front of room 304 exhales, and knocks lightly. After a slight nervous pause, Rebecca hears Marnie's quiet voice. "Come in," she calls out. Rebecca hesitates for a moment, then turns the handle, opening the door slowly. She steps into the room, taking in the sight of Marnie seated on her bed, her hair tousled and her eyes tired but determined. Marnie looks up at Rebecca, attempting a small smile, but her eyes reveal her exhaustion. "Hey," she whispers, her voice soft and somewhat shaky. Rebecca walks over to Marnie, her heart aching as she observes her sister's appearance. "Hey, Marnie," she responds, taking a seat next to her on the bed and reaching for her hand. "How are you doing?" "I'm alright, just hanging in there. How about you? I've missed you," Marnie says, readjusting herself in bed. Rebecca nods, squeezing Marnie's hand gently. "I've missed you too," she pauses, trying to find the right words. "I'm doing okay, but I'm so worried about you. I'm glad to see you. It's been pretty rough in here. I've only made one friend in the group. Her name's Charlotte. She's been going through the same sort of thing that I went through. We've been bonding in group sessions, but other than that, I've been staying low and under the radar," Marnie says, smirking. Rebecca smiles slightly. "That's good that you've made a friend in group, Marnie. I'm glad that you have someone there with you." She clears her throat, her eyes dropping to her hands for a moment before looking up. "I actually wanted to talk to you about something." As Rebecca pauses, she notices a slight flicker of anxiety cross Marnie for just a moment. "Oh," Marnie replies, attempting to appear unaffected. "What is it?" she asks, her fingers fidgeting with her blanket. Rebecca takes a deep breath, her heart thumping as she prepares to bring up her friends waiting outside. "I actually brought some people with me." Marnie's expression shifts from curiosity to surprise, her eyes widening for a moment. She sits up straighter, her fingers still fidgeting. "Who?" she asks softly, a hint of anxiety in her voice. "Well, I don't want you to get mad at me for this. I brought Michelle, Cara, Liz, and Don Cesar. They're all very happy to be visiting you, but if you don't want them to come in all at once, we can arrange for individual visits if you'd like. They have some things for you as well," Rebecca says, unsure of how Marnie would reply. Marnie's face twists with conflicting emotions, surprise, anxiety, and an attempt to mask it all with gratitude. You brought them here? All at once?" she whispers, her voice faltering. "Yes, they're sitting in my car at the moment, waiting for the best time to come in. I told them I would go in first and check in so things wouldn't be so overwhelming. Are you okay with them coming in?" Marnie exhales heavily, her fingers still tapping nervously against her blanket. I guess. She hesitates. "I'm just not sure how I'm going to react to seeing so many faces at once, after being isolated here for 2 months with random people." "Well, would you like them to come in one by one? Would that be better?" Rebecca asked, doing the most to make things comfortable for her sister. Marnie nods, appreciative of Rebecca's willingness to accommodate her. "Yeah, one by one would be good," she whispers, her fingers stilling slightly. "Who would you like to see first? I know Michelle and Cara prepared a small care package for you." Marnie lets out a soft chuckle, though her eyes remain a bit anxious. "They're always the sweetest. Michelle and Cara first, please." "All right, give me a second. I'm going to step out and call them to let them know. I'll be right back," Rebecca says, showing a brief smile as she stands up and steps out of Marnie's room. Marnie nods, putting her legs up to her chest as she watches Rebecca leave. Once she's alone, she takes a deep breath, attempting to steady herself for the company. "Hey, Michelle, I just checked in with Marnie. She'd rather see you guys individually, starting with you and Cara first. Is that all right? I told her that you had a care package prepared for her. She's still feeling a little anxious, so just be calm and prepared. I'll meet you at the front door. Are you girls ready?" Rebecca whispers through the phone. Michelle, Cara, Liz, and Dawn exchange glances, a mix of anticipation and concern on their faces. "All right, we're ready. On our way now," Cara says, her voice tinged with worry. With that, they gather their belongings and make their way towards the front door. Rebecca pockets her phone and turns around, making her way back to Marnie's room. She knocks gently before re-entering. "Michelle and Cara are on their way. I'm going to meet them at the front door and then I'll come back with them," she says softly, seeing Marnie still curled up on her bed. Marnie nods, her eyes flickering from Rebecca to the door, her body visibly tensing up. Okay, she murmurs in response. Rebecca smiles, reaching out to put a hand on Marnie's shoulder reassuringly. "Don't worry, okay? They're excited to see you. It's going to be okay." "I'm not worried. I know that Michelle and Cara care deeply about me. I'm excited to see them," Marnie says softly, clearing her throat. Michelle and Cara stand before Rebecca at the front door, holding their bags containing the care package. Michelle looks anxious, biting her bottom lip, while worry flickers in Cara's eyes. She's a bit anxious," Rebecca says, her fingers still fidgeting slightly, "but she's ready to see you two. Just be gentle with her, okay? She's been through a lot in here." Michelle and Cara share a quick glance, understanding the delicacy of the situation. We promise," Michelle whispers, her voice softer than usual. "She'll have us the whole time." Michelle and Cara follow Rebecca down the hall and up the stairs, heading to Marnie's room. When they reach her door, Rebecca knocks and then opens the door, letting the two of them into the room first. The door opens, revealing Marnie sitting up on her bed, her hands fidgeting nervously. As Michelle and Cara enter, a mix of emotions flicker across Marnie, her anxiety apparent. Michelle smiles softly as she approaches her bedside. "Hey," she whispers, her voice gentle. Marnie looks up as Michelle and Cara enter, her eyes widening slightly. "Hey," she murmurs softly, her voice tinged with both nervousness and relief. Michelle approaches, her eyes shining with compassion as she reaches Marnie's bedside. She gives her a gentle smile. "How are you feeling?" she asks softly. Marnie takes a shaky breath. I'm okay, I guess," she replies softly, her voice quivering slightly. Cara joins them at the bedside, her hands fidgeting slightly with the care package. "We brought you something," she says softly, setting the package down on the bed beside Marnie. Marnie glances at the gift bag, her fingers reaching out to touch the tissue paper peeking out of the top. "You didn't have to do that," she murmurs, her eyes flickering between the bag and Michelle and Cara. "Well, we wanted to. We thought we owed it to you to give you a gift, and we knew you would be appreciative of it," Cara says, forming a small, gentle smile. A small smile tugs at Marnie's lips, her fingers fiddling with the tissue paper. "You guys are too nice to me," she whispers, her voice a mix of gratitude and vulnerability. "You deserve it," Michelle says softly, placing a gentle hand on top of Marnie's hand, calming her fidgeting fingers. "You deserve all the goodness in the world." Marnie's eyes widen slightly at the touch, her breath catching for a moment. Thank you," she responds, her voice barely audible. Her emotions are beginning to surface, tears threatening to blur her vision. Seeing the tears in Marnie's eyes, Michelle and Cara exchange a glance, a silent understanding passing between them. They know Marnie needs to let her emotions out, no matter how painful it may be. Michelle rubs soothing circles on Marnie's back, gently guiding her into an embrace. Marnie leans into Michelle's embrace, clenching at her shirt like a lifeline, her body trembling slightly. Soft, quiet sobs escape her as her emotions spill over, the last few weeks coming into a head. Marnie's sorrow emotions were new to Michelle. She had never seen her act this vulnerable or show her emotions in this way, and she was finding it a little hard to react to, and decided she needed some distance. I'm sorry. I think I need to step out for a second. This is all new to me." Michelle shakes her head, backing away from Marnie. "I think I could go for a cigarette if you don't mind," Michelle says. Marnie's body immediately stiffens, her sobs cutting off abruptly as Michelle pulls her away. Her tear-stained face twists with a mix of hurt and confusion. "Are you leaving?" Michelle stops in her tracks, hesitation itched on her face. I'm not used to seeing you like this, Marnie. I need a moment," she murmurs, her voice quivering slightly. Marnie's eyes narrow, her vulnerability replaced with a flash of anger. "So you're just gonna bail because I'm having a moment? Because my emotions are too much for you?" she spits out, her voice shaking. Michelle falters, her expression a mix of shame and defensiveness. "That's not what I meant. It's just a lot for me to process," she stammers. Marnie scoffs, streaming down her cheeks. "So you're saying this isn't easy for you? That seeing your friend fall apart in front of you is upsetting your day?" she retorts, her voice growing louder. Michelle bites her lip, torn between guilt and frustration. "Marnie, it's tough, okay? I've never seen you like this before. It's hard to know how to react." Marnie's fingers clench into fists, her voice trembling with hurt and anger. "I didn't expect this to be easy for you, Michelle. This is about me. This is what I'm going through. But I guess it's too inconvenient for you." "Inconvenient? I think you're a little bit overreacting, Marnie. I didn't find this inconvenient. I just find it difficult to see you in this state. Since I'm not used to seeing you in agony, I never imagined that watching you recover would be this difficult." Michelle shakes her head, her voice above a whisper. Marnie lets out a bitter laugh, wiping tears from her face. "So it's difficult for you, isn't it? Seeing me weak and vulnerable? It's not comfortable for you. Is that it?" Michelle rolls her eyes, her patience wearing thin. "I know damn well you're not trying to start shit with me. I just told you I needed a break. Again, I'm not used to seeing you in pain like this. It hurts Rebecca and Cara just as much as it hurts me. I know you're doing your best to get better and feel better. However, lashing out on me is not the answer. I just need to get some air, that's all." Marnie's eyes narrow, her anger slowly shifting to defiance. "Oh, so I'm not allowed to express how I feel because it makes you uncomfortable? Because you think I'm being unfair to you? Well, I'm sorry if my struggles and pain are too much for you to handle." "So it would seem that you're not getting better," Michelle croaks, "because you still have so much anger in you that you're choosing to lash out on me. I don't understand it. Cara and I went out of our way to make you a care package because we care about you, believe it or not. And this is how you choose to react? This is how you react to me wanting to step out for a cigarette and process things? What an ungrateful little bitch you turned into," Michelle said. Marnie recalls that Michelle's harsh words, hurt and disbelief etched on her face. "So now you're insulting me? After all the things I've been through, you dare to say that I haven't gotten better because I'm expressing my anger? Because I'm not the same Marnie you knew before all this happened? Well, excuse me if I'm not acting the way I used to." Michelle rolled her eyes. "Marnie, you're missing the point," Michelle says, stepping closer to her. I just wanted to step out for a minute, that's all. I said I'm not used to seeing you like this, it's a lot for me to take in. Even during the intervention, when we fought about our past troubles, I was feeling very uncomfortable and vulnerable. The intervention took a toll on all of us. We weren't sure of how you would react. And now, seeing you here, I just need time to process it. I didn't mean to insult you. I just wanted you to see things from my point of view. Is that too much to ask? Marnie's shoulders sag, the defensive edge in her tone softening slightly. No, it's not. It's not too much to ask, she murmurs, her eyes cast down. She takes a shaky breath, trying to control her emotions. It's just, everything is so raw right now. It's like all the pain and anger I've been trying to hide are bubbling to the surface, and I don't know how to handle it. And when you said you needed a break, it felt like you were leaving me at a time when I needed you most. Marnie, look, I'm sorry. But Cara and Rebecca are also here if you want to talk to them. I just can't right now. This is a hard thing for me to process. My former boss is in rehab that we hosted the intervention for, Michelle says. Don't take this the wrong way. I care about you very much and would like to see you get better. But please, don't waste your breath taking your pent-up anger on me. It's not worth it. Marnie's eyes flicker with a mix of understanding and vulnerability. I'm sorry, Michelle. I didn't mean to lash out on you. It's just that everything feels so overwhelming right now, and I don't know how to control all these emotions. She takes a shaky breath, attempting to rein in her tears. I'll try to express my feelings better, and I appreciate that you care. Just, please don't abandon me. I need all the support I can get right now. It's all right, Marnie. I want you to know that I'm not leaving. I'm just stepping outside for a few minutes. Rebecca and Cara are here to talk to you as well if you'd like some support. I'll be right back. Michelle reaches over to rub Marnie's back and shoulders. It'll be okay. We won't abandon you, Michelle says, comfortingly. Marnie nods, her eyes glossy with unshed tears. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. She takes a deep breath, trying to steady her emotions. I'll talk to Rebecca and Cara until you come back. Thank you for understanding. I know it took a lot for me to tell you that. I'll be back in a second, Michelle says, reaching for her purse. She stands up and opens the door to let herself out. Keep her entertained, ladies. I'll be back shortly, Michelle nods, forming a small smile as her hand reaches for the doorknob. Oh, Michelle, would you mind telling Don that it's okay for him to come inside now? I don't want to overwhelm Marnie, so let Liz know we need a few minutes. Rebecca whispers to Michelle softly. Michelle nods. No problem, Rebecca. I'll send Don out shortly, she says. Rebecca nods and smiles back, acknowledging Michelle's words. All right, I'll take care of Marnie while you're gone. Just take as much time as you need. Michelle steps out, shutting the door behind her. She looks down the hall, spotting Dawn pacing back and forth anxiously. Oh, hey. I didn't expect to see you in the hallway, Michelle says. Is everything all right? You look dissembled. Don freezes, his pacing interrupted by Michelle's arrival. Yeah, I guess I look a little anxious, huh? He chuckles nervously. I'm just a bit worried about Marnie. Well, she's all right. We had a little argument when I told her I needed a little time away after seeing a new side of her. She's very vulnerable and having trouble controlling her emotions. It's different for all of us, I'm sure, but she's progressing slowly and taking it day by day, so that's good progress, Michelle says, rubbing her neck. I'm glad to see you out here, actually. Rebecca was just telling me that you can come inside now, to see Marnie, if you'd like. Are you ready for that? Michelle asked. Don nods, his expression a mix of hope and anxiety. Yeah, I'm ready. I just want to see how she's doing. But I don't want to overwhelm her, you know? How is she handling everything? She's doing all right. I'm sure she'll be happy to see you. Not sure about Liz, though, Michelle says. Don runs a hand through his hair, his nerves getting the best of him. Why do you say that? Is Liz feeling okay about seeing Marnie? Michelle leads Don over to Marnie's door. I'm not sure that Marnie will be able to handle Liz right now. Since she lashed out at her the last time that they were in the same room, I'm not sure she would accept a friendship from her. Don lets out a deep breath, his eyes flickering with concern. Right, they haven't had a good past between them, but Marnie's changed. Maybe she's ready to apologize and make amends this time. I just hope so. Is she still in the car? I'm going to smoke a cigarette and hopefully convince her to come inside. I'm sure she's feeling kind of nervous. Yeah, she's still in the car. I think you're right, she's probably nervous as hell, Don sighs, running a hand through his hair. Good luck, don't push her too hard. Thank you, and here's Marnie's room, 304. Good luck to you, Don. Michelle smiles and shows him the door. Don nods, swallowing hard as Michelle leaves him in front of Marnie's door. He takes a moment to steady himself, his hand hovering over the doorknob. Okay, you got this. Just take it slow, he murmurs to himself, before turning the knob and quietly opening the door. Don pushes the door open, cautiously stepping into the room. The soft sound of Marnie's quiet sobs reaches his ears as Rebecca tries to calm her down, and he can make out her form, lying on the bed, back turned to him. Don approaches the bed, his footsteps soft against the carpet. Marnie? He says quietly, trying to get her attention. Marnie's body stiffens at the sound of Don's voice. She rolls over, her eyes red and puffy from crying, her voice filled with a mixture of vulnerability and fear. Don? She whispers, barely audible. Don's heart clenches at the sight of her tear-streaked face. He takes a few steps closer, sitting on the edge of the bed. Hey, Marnie, how are you holding up? Marnie takes a shaky breath, her eyes flickering with a mix of emotions. I'm not sure how I'm holding up, to be honest. Everything feels so new and difficult to process. She props herself up on her elbows, looking at him. But I'm glad you're here. I thought it would be nice for you to see a familiar face and familiar coworker presence, Rebecca says softly. I hope Don can make you feel comfortable again. Marnie slowly nods, her eyes shifting to Don, a hint of gratitude in her expression. Yes, thank you, Rebecca. Having a familiar face, it does help. She hesitates for a moment, then quietly adds, Have you, spoken to Liz at all? Liz, she actually came with us today. She's sitting in the car right now waiting for the okay sign to come in. She's doing all right, Don says, hugging Marnie. Marnie's body tenses at the slight mention of Liz's presence, her breath catching for a moment. The thought of seeing Liz again fills her with a mix of guilt and anxiety, but the comfort of Don's embrace eases some of her tension. She's here? In the car? She whispers, her voice slightly trembling. She is, Cara says. However, you don't have to see her if you're not ready. We just thought it would be a nice gesture. Marnie closes her eyes, her emotions warring inside her. I don't know if I'm ready to see her. I'm feeling so many things right now, and guilt is one of them. She takes a shaky breath, seeking comfort from Don's embrace. Does Liz make you feel guilty, Marnie? Rebecca asked. Marnie nods faintly, her eyes still closed. Yes, there's so much I feel guilty for, and Liz is a big part of it. We haven't always had the best relationship. I know I've hurt her in the past, and the thought of facing her again fills me with fear and guilt. We understand, Don says, nodding his head gently. It's okay if you're not ready yet. It's still nice to know that she made an effort to see you. Marnie lets out a shaky breath, her fingers curling into the comforter. I appreciate that she's here. I do. But it just feels so overwhelming to think of facing her after everything I've done. She finally opens her eyes, looking at Don with a mixture of vulnerability and resilience. But I can't avoid her forever, can I?